crustaceans in there, but I just had to get a quick video of it. Look at that. Never dreamed there was that much in there. That's the mouldy, horrible bit. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. Never dreamed there was that much in there. Okay, so a bit of reorganisation been going on here. I'll start here. So blue tack. I've used lots more blue tack. That doesn't give an accurate hydro, water reading, because it's buried in the substrate. The temperature's probably 1 degree lower. That's in there with the Auroventris. And there, I've noticed lots in the outworld, a lot of the time, and I hadn't realised they must have already had quite a big hatching. And yeah, in the video I'll link to this one at the start, there's tons and tons of brood, far more than I ever thought. I basically cut off this bit of film that was wrapped around it like a cigar to make a tent one, because I've found these tent ones are much better. You can sort of see right in properly with tent ones. When it was rolled round I couldn't see properly, so although everything's red, I could very easily move it. I'm not moving it again, I've disturbed it enough. You can't really see, but there is loads of pupas, that's what I mean. There's cocoons, but there's pupas, and then I often have 8 workers out in the outworld. That's just the Lassus niger just there, still doing nothing really. There's a space where the Lassus niger is sitting, which is the perfect space for another Cushy Mercury, I think it is, nest. So I've got the other one with the Coreontitis in it, but they're hibernating. But when they're not hibernating, this is where they're going to sit, next to that one with the cable there. That's the Nicos in there. This is the new Camponotus Parius that arrived today, and I've sort of half blocked up, well, more than half, just made the tube so it's pretty much blocked up and they can only just get through if they want to get through, and if they don't and they want to pull it all up and make it more secure, they can. But they've been very adventurous. They've been here about an hour, half an hour, an hour, something like that. Been very adventurous. Been drinking. It only had 2 drips out of a syringe of super juice. They've been drinking that. I've seen them investigating that piece of buffalo worm. So I'm not feeding much or giving them much. But there we are. Now I've got these are Parius, or Parisus, or however you want to say it. Parius I say. And those, oh, is the one close up to see? Not really. And those are Auroventris. And lots of people say, how do you tell them apart? And I'm hoping to, there's one close. Hoping that I'll be able to show at some point when the colony's a bit bigger and it's easier to sort it out. They do look almost identical at this point, and I knew they would anyway. I've seen comparison videos. The Auroventris are really surprising me with the development. The fastest I've had of anything, I think, other than the Myrmica rubra. And I don't know how to compare them to the Nicos yet, because they just haven't got going. But they do look identical, but I don't think they'll be completely identical. I've had Parius before. Yeah, and in here, so it's off the heat. It's got. Today I've had to seal up underneath those little gaps I once showed in the video. Chinese outworld, cheap Chinese outworld, and I actually found an ant that plopped out onto the bottom today. I've been at home today, otherwise I wouldn't have seen it. Yeah, so I've sealed all underneath there with a hot glue gun all the way around. Stop that happening again. But these have been really busy terraforming, basically. There's a tiny bit of food that I put in there. They had a whole buffalo worm yesterday, and it's quite good. I've got the video will be linked to this one. But they all tugged it in and took it off into their new nest. They've built this nest. I didn't think they've sort of terraformed it, if you like, because that's an entrance there. I didn't think it was. I don't really see them coming out there very often. I thought that was just the way the sort of clay rocks were. But then you look in these holes really closely, you can actually see ants moving around in there, and like in there. You can see that. Yeah, a bit. The main entrance is down there. You often get sort of about 10 of them all just sitting out there. And the other entrance, which I would say, well, it's probably just as main, is that one up there, at the top. And this has all happened in, well, under a week. I think it was about Wednesday or something. There's one coming out there now. I put that bit of moss on there, and I water the moss with rainwater. That's what I'm doing. The moss is on a big chunk of clay. It's the same substrate as this, but if you wet it, you can make it into a ball of clay. Put that in the corner, put that moss on top. Now I water the moss with rainwater every 2 days. Quite a bit. So I've got like a hydrating nest. And they seem to be really happy. Couldn't believe how many came out yesterday. A lot more than I even thought I had. There was a whole load of them all coming out to feed on that worm. Anyway, I'm pleased with them. And then round the back, it just has to be there because of the sort of arrangement. You can't see them at the moment. Turkestanis set up there. And I'm guessing because of the colour that they're more light sensitive. So they've got black, they've still got foil on their own tube. It's almost blocked up. Then they've got a red tent over it. And then they've got the black over as well. And it's, I suppose, I don't mind if they want to move into their new tube, but it's just there as an option. I don't really care. And I don't actually know if they're light intolerant. It might just be good camouflage. They're quite hard to see against that red background. So, I don't know. Maybe the yellow is just a camouflage. I don't know if they're actually a nighttime-ish ant, particularly. I mean, they will be compared to these two, I would have thought. Unless that's another adaptation to, stop them getting burnt by going light colour. But these ones have got light reflective hairs on them. And I've done Parius up close with really good lighting before. They really shine. This isn't really good lighting. They really do shine, especially the queens as well, but it just looks like it's grey at the moment. But that's what I want to show. Once I've got the microscope going and decent lighting, I want to actually see the definite difference. Because some of these can have a silvery shine and some can have a golden shine. The Aura Ventris I already know are quite golden. I've had some not decent light on. Yeah, that's it for now.